Absolutely. How different is it covering the Canucks when you first started to now?
Really different. When I broke in, the internet didn't exist. I mean, that's how old I am, and we wouldn't be doing a digital podcast like this one back when I started. And so it was way more about telling people, what happened at games and practices, because 18,000 people could go to the Coliseum, but there was a point in time where not every game was on television, and now practices live in real time. People are streaming them, tweeting out line combinations, and so now it's more about either telling individual stories or really digging down for scoops and information that other people don't have. So, like when I think of the press box when I first started, there were so many radio stations in Vancouver that covered the Vancouver Canucks, and now there's one, and they're the rights holders, Sportsnet 650. They're the only radio station. They're the only radio station left talking sports on a regular basis, but they're the only one that covers the Vancouver Canucks. And so when you go up and down press row now, there are so many digital outlets that didn't exist when I began. Again, the idea of being able to update in real time during games, that kind of stuff didn't happen. It didn't exist. So, it's changed an awful lot. And I think in some ways, I think it's for the better when I think of some of the work that's being done and opportunities for guys like yourself to fire up a podcast and talk Canucks. Like a young me would have loved that opportunity, but it didn't exist. I came through a process where you actually had to apply for jobs and get hired. And I'm not saying this is better or worse. It's just the way it was, that you had to impress a boss and do enough to convince him or her to give you an opportunity. Now, people on their own with podcasts and blogs, I'm a big believer that good work is always going to find an audience, but there's just so many different avenues to entry into covering the Vancouver Canucks. I look at a guy like you. You're maybe not at the rink every day as a beat reporter. You've got a podcast. You're talking about the Vancouver Canucks. Like, you're covering the Canucks. You're starting a conversation about the hockey club, and so many people are able to do that. And so it's different. And again, I think it's allowed so many more people to express themselves and to come up with storylines and ideas, and just the statistical analysis that's done now of the sport of hockey, not just in Vancouver, but everywhere. Again, that's a whole sector that really didn't exist. When I broke in,